I just found this massive piece of rust. So it may be worse than I first thought. Someone's holding the bin. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we will begin with this Mercedes SLK's rust repair. We'll begin by taking off the fenders and the bumpers and see what's lurking underneath. Firstly, I'm going to start by getting the wheels off the car and getting into the air for better access.
My God, can't take my eye off you, can't take my eye off you. Dim guy, don't got nothing on you, don't got nothing on you. My heart is ready for something I haven't had in a long time. True love crime, I hope you know that it may hurt for a while. Let's slow down, slow down. I can see behind that broken smile. Nice, sweet, smooth, like cocoa bread, cocoa bread. You're nice, sweet, smooth, like cocoa bread, cocoa bread.
So as you can see here, we have a little bit of bubbling on the panel, and when we stand that back you'll see all the rust underneath there. And having a look here, checking out the metal again, seems to be fairly strong, a little bit of flakiness, not terrible. You can see here still some more paint coming off. And again, same back here, a little bit of flakiness, but not too bad. Okay, so I've just got off the undershield from underneath the engine. This will give me access to two bolts, which are apparently behind here, just in front of the fan. So let's see if we can find those now. Okay, so I think I found it. It's that bolt right there. Okay, so I just had a look in the manual, and it appears I've got all the screws off. So I'm just going to try and pry it off and see what happens. But there's so much rust here. See, even the fender's coming off before this bumper. I'm not too sure what's going on with that. So I've just had a little look inside this thing here, the front space, and I just found this massive piece of rust. So it may be worse than I first thought, but we'll see. Okay, so I had to go at removing the front fender, but as you saw, the part in here is way too rusty to unscrew. So I was planning on removing both fenders, and then we can get the bumper off with the fenders attached, and then we can cut it out if we need to, or get better access. However, to get off the front wing, there's another screw down here behind the skirt. And the skirt, as you saw, these screws are spinning right now, so they will not come out with a screwdriver. So I have cold bolt drill bits, because they're stainless, and we're going to drill them out. And then hopefully this will come out, and we can get the whole front end off. Okay, so we've been unsuccessful using the drill bits to drill it out, they all just end up spinning. But the hole here looks like it's been widened enough to just pull it out over. We've tried prying it from the bottom, but we think there might be glue. So we're going to try a fatter bit and just get the whole head out so we can get it off from the top. But that's where we're at with the sills.
Nothing is off, nothing is off. Down, I gotta say, I'm digging your vibe, your vibe, your vibe. There's something, it's the fact. You're switching up again. I don't know what's your move. Tell me, baby, what to do. Are you messing with my mind? First you tell me that you're.
Okay, so I managed to get it off. Got to disconnect that cable there. It wasn't actually bolted at the bottom. There you can see the rust. Right there. So we'll see if we can get this off now without breaking the bumper.
Should I say a go? Cause I can't keep on waiting for something.
Okay, so you can see that that was so rusted that it's even stuck to the frame there. And this bolt was meant to be holding it to the bumper, and that's just fallen out of my hands. There's a bit of rust there that needs to be cleaned up. Other than that though, success. So these wings are so rusty, as you've seen. They're not really worth repairing, but luckily we thought ahead and we bought some brand new, genuine Mercedes wings, a little bit dusty. We bought them over a year ago. So these will be sprayed up by a professional painter, and we'll put these ones on the car. I'm going to try and start getting the rear bumper off now. We'll see how many problems I have with this, considering how many problems I had with the rest of the car. But let's get on with it. So you can see the bolt, it is right back there for the bumper. So I'm going to try and get my tool in there without taking any of these plastic bits off.
And every time we meet, nothing is off, nothing is off. Down, I gotta say.
Okay, so now just got to lift these clips out, and I think this back piece will come out. Just gives access to the bolts back here.
I don't know what's your move. Tell me, baby, what to do.
Okay, so I just pulled this out from the back of the car, and this is a special grounding washer which makes sure the aerial, which is actually in the rear bumper, is grounded. Now I've got some problems with the radio in this car, and I thought it would be this being the culprit, but they look okay, and they look like they're doing their job, so I guess I'm just going to check out the aerial, see what's going on with that.
Should I say a go? Cause I can't keep on waiting for something. When you still say you don't know, hell nah. And every time we meet, nothing is off, nothing is off. Down, I gotta say, I'm digging your vibe. I'm digging. There's something, it's the something, it's the switching up again. I don't know what's your.
So we have two wires to disconnect. Those are actually aerial wires, I believe. That's the aerial all along the inner bumper, and that's why it doesn't have it on the side. And it goes into the car right there, and it connects to, where is it? That module right there, right at the bottom, so to a place I can't quite get to, right down there. So I have two options. Either I remove this whole plastic left side, or I think I can unbolt the one bolt that's on that module, bring it up, and then unfasten the clips to get the bumper away, and then place it back like that, which saves you removing all of this. On the other hand, I did lose a nut somewhere in there and a few other pieces, so it would be good if I could retrieve them. So that's my dilemma right now.
Tell me, baby, what to do. Are you messing?
So I just took the aerial module out that was holding it in. Undoing the screws, managed to get my hand in there so I could hold it with one hand. So now it's totally disconnected.
First you tell me that you're all mine. First you tell me that you're all mine. You say you need some time. You can't decide, but you leave me asking why. Ooh, are you messing with my mind? You left me. First you tell me that you're all mine. Then you say you need some time.
Now we can get a proper look at the corrosion on the front, which definitely needs to be addressed. You can see it's just falling apart now. So we'll get rid of all this old glue. Let's see if it can come off now. Get rid of all this old glue. Probably get a wire wheel and see how much we can save. I think we should be able to save enough of it. Right, next job.
Looking so handsome, oh you have your way, and it's making me weaken. You and your stardust, walking like that. It's really getting too much, but I can't pull back. Though I try to resist, I can't fight this, and no one.
So there we are, one bumper off, and one car looks like it's been blinded. You can see the bolt in here that wouldn't come off because the metal's still on the other side that's rusted off. So I'm going to try and do this now and get the headlight off. So previously we tried to get access to the bolt that's in here by prying this away. But we pried a little bit too hard. Now there's a tiny stress fracture there, you can't really see it. So once this wing comes off, we can access the bolt that's just hiding right in there. And we're going to try and remove this one without damaging it like we did the last one. So the plan is we're going to use duct tape over the top of the bolt to stop them from spinning. And we're going to go with the 3mm and the 4mm bit to try and get through the thread and then break the head off. So we'll try not to damage the plastic because that means less repairing and less work for us.
Gives me shivers like you. Oh, no one does it better. How I try to sleep, but you're deep in my mind.
And then we're going to try and make sure that we get all the glue off before we start trying to pry it away, because that is what caused the crack in there, which again has to be repaired. So this was a test piece, if you can think about it like that. They don't make these parts anymore and they're pretty expensive, so I've got to do my best not to damage it because it just means more work.
How I try to sleep, but you're deep in my mind. Got a hold of me. When I'm awake, I'm all blind. You and your magic, like infinite power.
That was the last bit of glue, I think. So now I'm going to try and get the side skirt off. That was so much quicker than the last side. I think the last side took us about 2 days. This took us about 2 hours.
Makes me feel like you do when no one sets my body on fire, and no one gives me shivers like you.
The same as the other one, just filled with muck. Maybe not quite as bad. Only problems on this one is probably the holes, but overall they are in much better condition than drilling off the other ones. I think there's only one small crack along here which you can't even see. yeah. Good job, Dad. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the grill off the car and have a look behind it. If you can see here, there is some rust appearing, so while I'm treating the rust, I might as well get to this and this. See, there's a bit down here as well, and along the wings where the mounting are. So I'm going to get this grill off, and I'm going to give it a good clean, throwing some water, just everywhere I can get to now the lights are out and things like that. And hopefully this will be looking a lot better in about 20 minutes time. There we are, one clean engine bay. So that's all the panels that need to come off the car now. In the next episode, we'll be addressing all the rust issues. As you can see, this bracket needs to be remade, cut off and remade. Some rust up here needs to be addressed. Down the sill on both sides. And then the rear arches, which all need to be sanded and painted. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more episodes on this car.